Welcome back to the Let's Talk About It podcast. And I would like to say happy Friday to everyone. Today I am off. I am enjoying this beautiful Friday. My sister is getting married today. So I'm just happy to have a day to embrace the love, the day, and just having some time away from work. I hope everyone who is tuning in and who isn't tuning in is having a good day today. I'm hoping that you guys find peace, joy, and happiness in whatever it is that you're doing. And if you come across some trials, I'm praying that you figure out how to get through them and know that the best is yet to come. I had a beautiful realization last night. Yesterday, I was in a moment and I was just thinking to myself, like, Raquel, I know you're supposed to be doing something great. You're supposed to be making a difference in the world. You're supposed to be doing just something more fulfilling, and you're on a journey to finding your purpose, but what is it? So a lot of scriptures popped out to me, Matthew 7 and 8. Both of the scriptures basically refer to being patient. Ask God for the things that you want, and you shall receive them. And, don't try to rush the things that you want, because God has a plan for your life, and God has a path that you should take, and he's going to get you through that no matter the circumstances. And reading those scriptures and just reflecting, and I prayed to God and I said, God, I need you to talk to me. I need clarity. I need you to tell me, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Where is it that I'm supposed to be? What am I supposed to be doing with my life right now? And after about 2 or 3 martinis, last night, I went outside and I just looked at my backyard, and the grass was green. A lot of the areas where the grass hadn't been growing or the grass was burnt, the grass was finally green. And I looked at my flowers, and my flowers have been growing beautifully. They've been blossoming, and it was one point in my life, or in my attempting to be a gardener or have a green thumb, where I couldn't even keep a plant alive. And then I stopped and I looked at the sky, and I took it all in, and I heard God say, "You're exactly where I want you to be." And I just broke down into tears, and I broke down and just started praising God and saying, thank you for, bringing me to the realization that I am where I am. I'm at where I'm supposed to be. And granted, yeah, I may have a lot more to do in this world, and, my purpose has not been fulfilled. But as of right now, he has me exactly where he wants me to be. I prayed for a family. I've prayed for financial stability. I've prayed for a home, and I have all of that. I have all of those things. And it's crazy how, like, when I went into the backyard, the grass, we recently put Miracle Grow on the grass and, watered it, and it's been raining. And just what I said before, like, areas where the grass wasn't growing, the grass is now green. Areas where the grass was burnt, the grass is now green. And that just gives me a reflection of my life, because there are a lot of areas in my life where I wasn't growing in certain aspects, or I wasn't learning what I needed to learn. And I just wasn't reaching the potential that I needed to reach. And the person that I am today, I have reached so many different new heights in my life. And to think that because, we pray for things and then we get them, and because, we reach that milestone, we're ready to get to the next one. we forget to like bask in the moment of the blessings that we've already received, and appreciate the life that we have, and realizing that God has had favor and grace over our lives. And it took me back, because I'm just like, I really have grown as a woman. I've grown as a sister, a daughter. I've grown in general as Raquel. I have grown. But because I want more, and I want to do this, and I feel like I have a bigger purpose, which I know I do, I dim the light on what I already have, which is not fair. I never want to come off as ungrateful, maybe an overachiever, but never ungrateful. And last night, it was the best moment that I could have had and God speaking to me and just saying, you are exactly where I want you to be. And like, to know that and to hear that gave me confirmation that, I don't get everything right and I don't have all the answers, but what I'm doing right now, the route that I'm taking, me trying every day, doing the best that I can every day, right now, that's all I can do. I can only put my best foot forward. I can only give it all that I have and never give up. And I'm just so happy that I've grown as a person to be able to realize that. And I want people to know, like, things may not pan out the way that you want them to, but please believe me, God has a purpose for you. God has a place that he wants you to be and has created you for where he wants. God has created you for more than what you see in hindsight. Like, you have this vision for your life. Even me, like, I have this vision for my life of what I think that I'm supposed to be doing, but living my life that I'm living now in the house that I have with my wife, with my son, with my 6 dogs, and and just being able to keep up. I would have never thought that I would be here, especially where I've come from, and the reckless version of me. I would have never thought like this would be my life. And we all just gotta take a moment and take in the things that we've accomplished and have grace for ourselves and really just appreciate what God has done, and know, like, you don't have to be perfect. And I know it's hard, especially in today's society, but you don't have to be perfect at everything. And maybe the life that you have is perfect for you for now. And, us as humans, we're always going to evolve. We're always going to grow. Heck, us as God's children, like, we're always going to evolve and grow into the version that he wants us to be, regardless to how much we fight him, regardless to how much we resist. Like, we eventually turn to God, and that's all that he wants us to do. And unfortunately, as I said last episode, when we get to a point to where things are going so smoothly and things are going good, and like, you're not stressed out about anything, or you feel like you have the tools to deal with certain circumstances, you don't turn to God as much as you should. And because you do that and something happens, your faith is automatically triggered. Like, it's okay, so why is this happening to me? Like, I was just doing good. And you don't know how to deal with that, because you've disconnected yourself from God's word, from his love, and, not praying to him, not asking him for guidance, and asking him to get you through the day, and asking him to cover you. And granted, he does these things without you asking, but that connection between you and him makes it easier to get through any trials or tribulations that you may go through. So I just felt like I wanted to share that with you guys. Like, take a moment to yourself and really look around you. Like, look at what you have. Look at where you've been. Look at where you could have been based off of decisions that you made, and realize that God's grace is everlasting. God loves us. And no matter where we are in our walk with God, no matter where we are in our lives, he always has his hands on us, and he's always going to guide us to where he wants us to be. And we just have to let him do that. So going forward, I'm going to try my best not to look at life like I haven't made it, like I haven't gotten to where I want to be. I'm going to take accountability for where I am. You know, I may struggle financially, but God has provided me and my wife to be employed. God has provided us to be able to pay our bills. Now, what I do with the extra money, or, you know, if I go shopping, or if I don't be responsible with those finances, that's on me. And I have to realize, like, give yourself grace, but also take accountability for where you are in your life. We also can hold back the things that God has for us based off of the bad decisions that we make, or, you know, we're not really being responsible with the blessings that he already has given us. And my wife told me, because I'm a big person about paying my credit cards on time and making sure that I don't have a huge balance. And my wife told me, you know, when we were at our last house and we were struggling, did you have credit cards to pay for, you know, emergency things or things that we needed? And I was like, no. And she was like, but you do now. And these are the things that you've asked for, to be able to cover emergency situations. And, you know, but those blessings come with more responsibility. And if we don't take accountability to be responsible for the things that God has already blessed us with, we can't expect for more to come into our lives. Because when you get it, you won't be ready or prepared to handle it or do right by it. And it's just, it amazes me how you ask God to speak to you, and he will do it in such an amazing way, like such a soft way. And you just got to really realize and listen and think about the things that you've prayed about. Think about how this moment is attached to the prayer. And like, y'all, me going outside and just like really looking at everything just grow, and just, you know, where things weren't growing, grass is now growing, and just looking at how well I'm taking care of my plants. And I just was like, I was amazed, because I just would have never thought that my life would be where it is right now. And I would have never thought that I was worthy enough of having the life that I have. And heck, it may be people that you say my name and they probably will be like, she ain't this or she ain't that, or, you know, that's a facade, whatever the case may be. I'm speaking based off of my past, but I prayed for this life. I prayed to God to give me peace. I prayed to God to give me so many things. And I can honestly be a testimony to myself and for other people that he will give you the things that you ask for. But you got to remember to realize, okay, he's blessed me. He's shown me grace and he's shown me favor. And don't forget that just because you want more now doesn't mean that you didn't get what you asked for before. And I think in a lot of ways, us as God's children, we're selfish in that way. And we think that it's all about going to God and asking him for this and asking for that and wanting to demand almost the things that we want from him. And when we don't get it, it's like, well, did you not hear my prayer? Because I even said that in my prayer. I'm like, God, I need you to hear me. But God hears us all the time. You know, he may not answer he may not give you what you want when you want it, but it comes if it's meant for you. And I try not to beat myself up about, you know, the way that I handle my prayer life or I handle my journey with God, because it's going to forever be a work in progress. I'm never at a point to where I got this thing in the bag and, you know, I don't know. I would never, for me, I just feel like I would never put myself in a position to say that I have all the answers and that I would never be turning to God for anything. Because even for the good moments, I definitely say thank you. But for the bad moments, when I'm just fucked up and I have nowhere else to turn, which is how I've been feeling the past couple of days, it's always him. It's always God. It's always my faith and my prayer and just realizing where my blessings come from. And I ask and I challenge y'all, like, really sit down and visualize your life and the things that you have and think about what you ask God to save you from and the salvation that you've received. And think about the things that you're asking for now. Are we really being grateful for what we have? Or because we feel like we got a little bit of something, we got to have more? And that's where I saw myself. That's where I realized I needed to check myself. And like, I can honestly say that based off of the life that I have now, if I were to transition today, or you know, I would be happy, because I don't live a tough life. I really am in my soft girl era. Like, I get stressed. You know, I have anxiety. I go into a depressive mode. But I also, God pulls me out of it. And, you know, he has guided me to the right doctors to be able to have talk therapy, to be able to prescribe whatever medications that I may need. And also put his hands around me and lets me know that I'm not alone, and has blessed me with a beautiful family. Mom, sister, dad, wife, son. Like, what? It's people who don't have half of that. And I have to remember how honored it is to be in this position. So I just hope that we all, as God's children, can really appreciate the life that we have and put our best foot forwards every day, and realize that when it's time to get to the next step, to get towards the new part of our purpose, because our purpose always evolves, and it evolves with every milestone that we reach. Be appreciative, be grateful. Understand that growth takes time. Getting to where everything takes time, you know, being accountable for your actions, the way you handle certain blessings, and being responsible for me, I'm speaking finances, because that's what stresses me out the most, is like finances. But I got to think about, like, girl, when I think about the bills that I have, and I think about how me and my wife are, you know, we pay for these bills, and we're not being put out of our house. Nothing's getting repoed. And granted, we've been in situations where, we've gotten letters on the door and we've gotten a car repossessed and whatever. Like, let's be real. Everything is not easy. We've gone through hard times where it just did not look like we was coming up out of it. And we had to deal with that and take accountability for our actions. And I can honestly say that where we are now, we've learned from our past and we refuse to go back there. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, RSS feed, YouTube, TikTok for my short clips, and Instagram for my short clips as well. It'll all be under Let's Talk About It podcast. I appreciate you for tuning in. Remember, bring it to the platform and we're going to talk about it. I'll see you next episode.